Alright, what's going on YouTube? We are back with another one. It is March 20th right now. It's currently 9:06. Just coming onto the charts here now. Um, Going over news real quick. There's none, so there's really nothing to worry about on the day. It is a Friday, so let's just get right into it. I have some drawings here that I marked out a little bit ago. Let me get this music going here. Alright, so first thing I noticed coming into today is yesterday we took sell side here, did not take it on NQ, put in the SMT, we started getting higher. And then looking on the 4 hour, we fail to put this change in the state into the upside, right? All we do is take buy side and we fall back inside the range. We fail to put a change in 3 different times on the 4 hour. We also had this 4 hour gap supporting us, so if we wanted to go higher, we would have just tapped this gap, continued higher, and continued towards buy side, equilibrium, unfilled gaps, etc. But we didn't do that. So same deal, we failed to get that change above, took buy side, and then we sell back off. Now, so after selling off, we put a change into the downside. It's small, but it's there. We take sell side on both indexes, and now currently we're just inside a 1 hour gap. So I want to see what we do, right? I just want to see purely what the market gives me. So first thing I mark out is equilibrium of this range, right? So I mark out equilibrium. That's what that purple line is. And then I had resting buy side marked out as well on the 5 minute. We got these resting highs here, and I just wanted to see what we got, right? So we're at equilibrium with these resting highs here, and like I said, I just want to see what the market gives, what we want to do on the 5 minute here. We could potentially seek to get this change to the downside, right? After taking internal high here, looks like we actually put in equal highs. Um, and if we do that, like I said, I just want to see what we do. I'm looking for any gaps that are open. So if we do start getting lower, I want to see, okay, do we if we start getting lower without too much context, meaning we didn't take buy side and it's just happening super quickly, I'm gonna say, okay, what gaps are we opening up on the way down? Where can I potentially catch a continuation? What sell side have we taken, right? Because we can get down here to sell side inside of this 15-minute gap, soup it to go higher. We can take this low, so it's really just really breaking it down and getting understanding for where we are, and then just, like I always say, just reacting and observing. So mainly I want to see what we do here, because it looks like we're going to put in equal highs here on ES. So if we could put in equal highs here, which actually we did, put in equal highs on ES, NQ ran that high, so we put in a little SMT, and then if we get this little 5 minute gap get ran through and this change to the downside here, then I just look to see for, a pullback and just the same exact internal motto if we get that. So we got to remember we are at equilibrium of this range and we are delivering from a 1 hour gap right now. So we have every right in the world to just start heading lower. We don't necessarily have to come up the buy side. So we generate here, we run both highs, and then now we're seeing legs lower. So right here, yeah, I'd probably want to see all these gaps get ran through to the downside first before I would personally take a stab lower. But we're getting some nice delivery. It is on the 5 minute. That would be my entry on the 5 minutes. So I don't really like the idea of that. I'd want to be something more finer, meaning like slightly lower time frame. But we'll just see what we get. So it looks like we are getting some nice displacement. So just because ES puts equal highs in up here doesn't mean that we got to come back to it, right? Because NQ took the high. Now, if we put in equal highs on ES and then NQ did not take the high or put in equal highs as well, then I can say, okay, I want to see if we want to get back up here actually, But NQ took that high. So if we're gonna continue higher, I can expect this small gap to hold and for us to not get a change to the downside. Because I want to see bullish imbalances and PD arrays respect. But so far this is looking pretty clean. I like the idea of if we can get displacement a little bit more. Excuse me, get below this change here to the downside. Get through this gap here. Then also we'll open up this 5-minute gap here. So if we can do all of that, I like that. So we're just looking to be super patient on the day. It is a Friday, so see what we do. Like I said, ideally want to see if we can open up this 5-minute gap if we do want to go lower. Just because that's a good spot for stops to go and a good spot of protection. But just looking how pre-market is moving, I'm not opposed against taking a pre-market trade right off the 5-minute too, because at the end of the day, a model's a model. And if we get everything that like I like and everything that I see makes sense, we rebalanced higher to equilibrium inside of a 1-hour gap, and we took internal high, then getting an inverse and a change in a state to the downside. That's clean to me, you know. It makes sense. There's context. I could put some sizing because there's confidence behind it. There's thought behind it. But we'll see what we do in a minute. We'll see where we get this close here. See what type of opportunity we get. That's where there's no way that you can save. Market does open in about 15 minutes. So we got 30 seconds until this candle closes. We have this excuse me, we have this inverse up here as well. So we don't get that 5-minute change or inverse here. So we open up this gap here though. Now the only thing is we can definitely easily get left behind here because I'm on the 5-minute, I'm not on the 1-minute. So there's less opportunity because there's longer periods of time that you have to wait before getting opportunity. So I gotta wait another 4.5 minutes for this candle to close, which it could close all the way down here. Right? We can get displacement legs and close all the way down there. Versus the 1-minute, I just gotta wait consecutive minutes to take a stab. So NQ is pretty clean. Get that change to the downside, pull back up, tap the change, tap the 1-hour gap, fill the equilibrium, or rebalance the equilibrium, take internal high. It's not bad. I'll be right back, yo. it kicked me out there. I didn't even sign in on my phone or anything. Sorry about that, y'all. So like I said, if we want to go higher and we want to, take these equal highs here, get up to here to buy side, or just fill this 1 hour more, I can expect this to hold, right? So that's what I was looking for. I was looking, do we get through it and put in a change, or do we hold it and get back higher? Now, the thing is, what do we do with this gap now? Because every gap, you got to play a narrative with it. So does this gap want to hold and send us back lower and then through this gap once more, getting a change? Or do we just run higher straight through the gap? Because if we do that, then I can expect, like I said, equal highs to get taken, minor buy side, potentially even come back into this 4 hour inverse, So really just seeing what we get. Um, Now, also, I'm not against longs. I'm looking to see what the market does for a short, but I'm not fully against longs. It just has to be there. It has to make sense. There has to be a reason for me to long. What did we do? You know what I mean? Like right now, we're in a 1 hour gap. We're in a big 1 hour gap. So for me to long through it, well, I don't know if this is gonna hold. But with us having a 1 hour gap, being at equilibrium, buy side, it doesn't really make too much sense. Now, if there is context, let's say we get lower and we take this low right here, or this low, or internal low, right? And there's a reason to go higher, which there is. We have buy side and we have this unfilled daily gap up here, all the way up here. This unfilled daily gap with also relative equal highs all the way up top. So that's a possibility. Yes, we could definitely see higher, but I just have to be given that. Like I have to be given everything I need for me to take a stab in any direction, really. So, like even now, like I'm not fully just bearish. I'm not like I just want to see shorts. I'm open to anything. I'm just aware of what's going on, and I'm being reactive. So it looks like NQ is getting through this 5 minute pretty well to the upside. So if we can get and close through this 5 minute, it's safe to assume that probably here, this high and this high probably are going to be the next draw. It's safe to assume. And then as far as ES goes, these equal highs, and we'll see if we can get up here as well. But we put in equal highs inside of a 1 hour gap at equilibrium. So that's something to definitely look out for. I like this color here. This little orange gap. I'm not going to mark out this 15-minute gap just because you can see how many times we used it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times we tap it and use it. So I'm not going to mark that out. But I will mark out unfilled 15-minute gaps and slightly use 15-minute gaps. Or any time frame gap. So we have market open here in about 5.5 minutes. So we're getting some nice legs higher here now. NQ looking to take this 5-minute high. So it looks like NQ is significantly higher than ES, so we may get an SMT with proper following price action. ES taking equal highs here soon. Gonna get rid of all this and this. So boom, equal highs now get taken, as well as buy side on the 5-minute. So we have this SMT here now. I'm just gonna mark out. So with taking this buy side here, yes, we're in a higher time frame 1 hour gap, but we also just tapped this unfilled 30-minute, unfilled 15-minute, unfilled 5-minute. So we'll see what type of reaction we get from here. This could be clean right here. If we open up this this 1-minute gap here as well. Also on ES. I want to see this gap get opened up here in 30 seconds. Equal highs get taken with an SMT. So if we get this pre-market, I'm willing to take this. Yo, I predicted that shit. I predicted that damn gap. Perfect gap link. But I want to see what we do here. If we can get through this. Now, if we do get too close to open, or if we don't get it before open and say like we're like right here, we're probably just gonna boom, run straight through that gap hard, quickly. Cause it's 9:30 open, you know. But we'll see what we do here in 2 minutes. And that's fine. Like if we're not through it before, then I'm not rushing into this. I'm just gonna take my time, wait, be patient, and if we displace and we sell off heavily, then so be it, you know. So we're getting some nice legs here on ES to the downside. I would take this purely off the inverse, but I just want to wait for a full change. Full change in a state. See what this baby little gap 30-second gap will do for us. Get us back inside the range. So this is the last candle that has opportunity behind it, because after this candle it's going to be 9:30 open candle, and I'm not looking to take a stab right at open on the candle. So it looks like we're getting a little bit higher here now. It's 1 minute gap potentially holding. 5 seconds till open. See what we do. So we open and we instantly don't really move too much, but we'll see. See what follows. Internal high is still intact as well, so we could be getting up to that right here. Oh wait, I'm tweaking. Market didn't even open. I'm looking at the wrong thing. But we are getting some nice legs down here. So market does open now though in 20 seconds. So we'll see what it brings. NQ's getting nicely through that range. You know, I wouldn't I would not be against taking a stab lower here. We're just gonna wait because we get that pullback anyways. See what we do if we just want to go, which we just might. See what we get. ES still kind of hanging around that change. See what we do. Take a stab lower here. Stops are at the high. Probably look to take majority off here and just leave one runner. So we now took this high, so I'm gonna tighten up my stop a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry, we took this low on NQ, so NQ takes this low here. So I would go full break even here, but there's really nothing protecting me besides this 1 minute gap here, so that's where my stop goes for a $150 risk trade, which I'm perfectly okay with. See if we can continue lower here though. We have lots of room lower, so we're gonna go break even right here. Only thing is after taking this now, NQ can very easily get back inside this range and fill this big gap. But I'd want to see if ES can just push and continue lower. Because I mean, look at this 1 minute now that we have. That if NQ wants to get up there, ES will get up there as well. So, but I'm operating off just what makes sense and what I'm confident in. So if I can find a spot for me to go break even quickly, maybe internal low here, if NQ takes it, then I could probably go full break even quickly, but we don't really have anything protecting me, you know? I don't want to see this 2 minute gap open up here. So that internal low now gets taken. See if we can get to our break even point. It's clean. 5 minute change gets put in as well. So NQ does take that internal low, so I'm just gonna go full break even here. My break even did not get hit, but NQ took this internal low here as well, so that could spark the model. That could spark the internal low gets taken, and then we get that move. So just to play it safe, I just go full break even there. But I like we're still continuing to displace a bit here. Now we get to this low. See if we can push a bit more to TP1. You know what? We're actually just gonna go all out at this low. This is just my low hanging fruit. Literally just a 1 to 1.37. I'm not looking for anything major. Just a Friday, just looking to make, take my, like I said, my low hanging fruit. So NQ digs into this 15 minute gap a little bit. Gonna trail here. Capitalize on some gains. You know, we're break even, so any gains are good. So boom, up 240. Quick little scalp, quick little trade. You know, like I said, we took this internal low here with ES, or I'm sorry, NQ taking 15-minute sell side with tapping this 15-minute gap. So we have every right in the world to run back higher, and I miss out on capitalizing because well I'm just waiting for this low to get taken when we still did have some form of sell side taken. So I'm perfectly okay with that. You know, um, and yeah, not a bad way to end the Friday. Just taking my low hanging fruit. And we're gonna come in tomorrow, or not tomorrow. I'm sorry, next week, Monday. Ready, patient. So we'll see what that brings us to. So we have no news on Monday. PMI on Tuesday. So yeah, next week is not looking too bad. I'm not gonna be trading Friday next week because I will be traveling that day. But other than that, we're looking pretty good. So that is the trade on the day. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of y'all day, and I'm out of here. Peace.